Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 7, Text 34, to be followed by Text 35, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace to the A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON. Translation: even personalities like Lord Brahma and other demigods cannot understand your position, for you are beyond the moving and non-moving creation. Since no one can understand you in truth, how can one offer you prayers? It is impossible. As far as we are concerned, we are creatures of Lord Brahma's creation. Under the circumstances, therefore, we cannot offer you adequate prayers, but as far as our ability allows, we have expressed our feelings. The demigods are concluding their prayers to Lord Siva. Having praised him, they say that actually we don't know how to praise you properly because we cannot understand your position fully. You're so great, you're so much beyond us. You are beyond us. We are simply creatures of Lord Brahma's creation, but you are not a person of Lord Brahma's creation. You are in a different position. You are in the para, the transcendental position. So in this way they're praising Lord Shiva, and in different places in the Bhagavatam we find the praise of Lord Shiva. Not only in the Bhagavatam, in many parts of the Vedic scriptures we find praise of Lord Shiva. He's certainly a praiseworthy person. There is a whole group of followers of the Vedic literatures or of the Vedic culture who accept Lord Shiva as supreme. His common name, so many names, common name, many names. Any great personality has many names. You find there are so many Sahasranamas, not only Vishnu Sahasranamas, Lalita Sahasranam for Durga and Radhika Sahasranam, Lakshmi Sahasranam, Ganesh Sahasranam. So there are so many names. One common name of Lord Shiva is Mahesh or Maheshwar, great controller. But among his followers, he's also well known as Parameshwar, which means the supreme controller. Generally, the followers of Lord Shiva, they take him to be supreme. They consider that he is supreme. Within the Vedic culture, there is a divide. Those who take Vishnu to be supreme and those who take Lord Shiva to be supreme. Generally we see there's division between Vaishnava or devotees and Mayavadis, but another way to look at it is the division between Vaishnavas and Shaivas. There are others also, there are other cults within the Vedic culture, the Shakti cult, the worship of Shakti, Durga as supreme, Ganapatya, those who worship Lord Ganesh, Shaurya, those who worship the sun. But the main division is there between Vaishnavas and Shaivas. Even the Shaktas, they can be considered also to be part of the same team as the Shaivas. So they consider him to be Parameshwar. And there are many statements in the Vedic literature which apparently establish Lord Shiva as supreme. Not only Lord Shiva, there are statements which apparently establish Indra as supreme, Agni as supreme, Devi, Durga is supreme, but especially of course there are many statements establishing Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna is supreme. But there are many establishing Lord Vishnu and also Lord Shiva. In fact, we'll find in the Mahabharata that according to Mahabharata, Lord Krishna himself performed austerities to invoke the blessings of Lord Shiva, and as a result of that he was able to have his first son, Pradyumna, from Rukmini, and while performing those austerities he offered many prayers to Lord Shiva as supreme, and he said that anyone who thinks that Lord Shiva is different from me, he's a great offender. Now of course we find in other places that those Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivatai Samatvena Vikshita Sapashandi Bhavedruvam. Padma Purana says that if you think that demigods, even up to the level of Brahma and Shiva, are the same as Lord Vishnu, then you're a great atheist and offender. But Lord Krishna himself in Mahabharata says that anyone who thinks that he's different from me is an offender. So how is this to be understood? It doesn't seem to be logical. Here the demigods say that to understand Lord Shiva's position is very difficult. But if we are told to understand it, we'll have to understand it from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because the Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of the tree of Vedic knowledge, composed by Vyasadeva in his maturity. So there may be so many statements in the Vedic literature, but if there is apparent contradiction between them, then we'll have to come to Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the embodiment of Vedic knowledge, he is Vedyaha, Vedescha Sarvera Haneva Vedyaha. Krishna states in Gita that all the Vedas are meant for knowing him, and that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Na Chaitanya Krishna Jagati Paratattvam Parameha. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, Supreme Lord. So he has accepted Srimad Bhagavatam as the topmost evidence. Srimad Bhagavatam from the very beginning states, Vyasadeva states, what is the purpose of this Bhagavatam? The purpose of the Bhagavatam is to describe the topmost knowledge. The topmost knowledge is already given succinctly in Vedanta Sutra. So the Bhagavatam opens with the same words which introduce the absolute truth in the Brahma Vedanta Sutra. Janmadhyasya yataha. The absolute truth is that from which everything emanates, that which in everything rests, and that into which everything finally enters at the time of dissolution. So what is the nature of that Brahma? Athatha Brahma Jigyasa. Now Vedanta Sutra says we should inquire into the absolute truth. So what is that absolute truth? Janmadhyasya yataha. The absolute truth, Yatova imani bhutani jayanti yat prayat javisangvishanti. The absolute truth is that from which everything emanates, everything rests. Tadbrahmeti, tadvijigyasasva tadbrahmeti, that is the absolute truth. So what is that? That is established in Bhagavatam as Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Satyam Param Dhimahi. This is the absolute truth. So in the Bhagavatam, from the very beginning, the absolute truth is established as Krishna, not Brahma or Shiva or any of the demigods. But still in the Bhagavatam we find so many descriptions of Lord Shiva. But particularly here in Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva's position is established as the greatest devotee, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Of course, in other literatures we might find that other devotees are also established as the greatest devotees. And of course in Bhagavatam, those who are fully understanding the Bhagavatam, they find that Radharani is established as the greatest devotee. But Lord Shiva's position as a great devotee, that is being established here. How is he Parameshwar? What are his glories? How he's worshipped as supreme by those who don't know Krishna as supreme. He has so much power, he's practically non-different from the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Brahma Samhita, that is accepted as the summary of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in there we have the famous verse that establishes Lord Shiva, what is his position, as the same as Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, Govindamadi Purusham, but at the same time different. What is that verse? Kshiram yata dadhi vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahitata pritag asti heto yah shambhutama pitata samutati karyat Govindamadi Purusham tamaham bhajami. Milk and yogurt, non-different in one sense, but also different. Yogurt is produced from milk, but from yoga you cannot again get milk. So in the same way, Shambhu is non-different from the Supreme Lord. He has taken this form for a specific purpose. His specific purpose is that of interacting with the material energy. That is why in this material world, people who are materialistic, they take Lord Shiva as supreme. Because within their vision, he is supreme. They don't know how he has attained so much power that the material energy who is his wife, that means she's acting under his direction. She herself is so powerful that Shrishti Sthiti Pralay Sadhana Shakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vivarti Durga. She, under her direction, creation, maintenance and destruction of this material world go on. So Lord Shiva is so powerful that he appears to be, in matters of this material manifestation, he appears to be supreme to those who don't have knowledge of Krishna's supremacy. So Lord Shiva is so much powerful, but how has he got his power? Why is he imbued with so much power? How is that power coming? Because he's a great devotee. All the demigods, they're powerful, and those who are less intelligent, they accept them as supreme. Because they don't know what is the source of that power. The source of all power is Krishna. Whatever power they have is coming from Krishna. So Lord Shiva has exceptional power because he is an exceptional devotee of Krishna. And even among the demigods, he's not the same. He's in a superior position. Even though he appears to be the son of Lord Brahma, actually he eternally has this position of Lord Shiva. Whereas there are so many Brahmas, they come and go. One Brahma for one creation, another Brahma for another creation. But Lord Shiva, he remains the same person. So if we're actually to understand the greatness of Lord Shiva, we have to understand from Srimad Bhagavatam, and we have to have that described by devotees of Krishna. Otherwise it's not possible. It's very difficult to understand, just like it's very difficult to understand Krishna. Krishna and Lord Shiva, they are the two most praised persons within the universe, and they're quite likely the most blamed also. Krishna is blamed for his activities that appear to be immoral to those who are not on the actual level of morality. Those persons who think themselves very moral, but who don't worship Krishna, they're actually immoral because they're prostitutes. Every living being is the maidservant of Krishna. Every living being is Prakriti. Krishna is Purush. Everyone is to be enjoyed by Krishna. But those who are on the standard of worldly morality, they think we shall not lie, we shall not steal, we shall do good to others, we will be nice, we will smile, but we shall not worship Krishna. They are immoral. They accuse Krishna of immorality. And there are others also who accuse Lord Shiva of bad behavior. Just like Krishna is accused of bad behavior. Those who don't understand Lord Shiva, they also accuse him that what is this? He's going in the crematorium, covering himself in ashes, disappears. This is in the mode of ignorance. He mixes up with all kinds of ghosts. Look at his followers, all ghostly being. He loses his temper. He's always angry. Rudra principle. Prabhupada describes in Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, that wherever we see earthquakes, hurricanes, ferocious war, people fighting ferociously in wars, nuclear bomb explosions, to make it topical. That is the Rudra principle, the angry, destructive principle of world. So how can we think that this is the supreme? He seems to be someone bad. If we see someone becoming angry, we think that is something very bad. And Krishna himself says in Gita, Kamas kodas tata lobhas Srividhanarakasya dvaram nashanam atmanaha Kamas kodas tata lobhas Tasmat etat trayam tyajet. Krishna says there are 3 gates leading to hell: lust, greed and anger. Therefore an intelligent person should give them up. But then Krishna himself appears to be the most lusty. And Lord Siva appears to be the most angry. So how are we to understand? It cannot be understood materially, but it can be understood by the maxim that God is all good. So even if God is apparently lusty, that is not the lust of this material world. Or if Lord Siva is angry, that is not the anger of this material world. Great personalities, they always act for the benefit of others. Everything they do is for the benefit of others. Lord Siva, we see here, he's being implored by the demigods to drink the hara poison for the benefit of the universe. And Lord Siva, he does that. He agrees to that. Lord Siva gives us the very important verse, very important understanding that great personalities, they always accept difficulties for the benefit of others. What is that verse? Tapyante lokatapena sadhava prayasho janaha paramaradhanam tadhi pushyasya kilatmanaha. Lord Siva says that great personalities almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of the people in general. This is considered the highest method of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present in everyone's heart. So the demigods, they're approaching Lord Siva, please drink this poison. That will benefit others. What is the benefit to Lord Siva to drink this poison? It's going to burn it. For anyone else, one drop of it would be enough to, just like the original chemical warfare, one drop is enough to destroy a whole universe. But Lord Siva is going to drink a whole ocean of poison. So certainly that some burning pain will be there. But he will take that for the benefit of others, to benefit others. So then why does he become angry and destroy others? Generally someone becomes angry, it's a manifestation of, what is that anger? That is a manifestation of one's lust and greed is frustrated. We find in Gita, Krishna describes the progression, that one has lusty desires, they are not fulfilled, so he becomes frustrated. And from that frustration comes anger, that my desire is not fulfilled. I am angry, I am upset, I am frustrated, so let me take some pleasure in inflicting pain on others by being angry. And therefore we find some people who are these people who are extremely lusty and bad, their lust is perverted into an anger in which they take pleasure in causing pain to others. We find this, it's very common in the modern age where lust is so much increased. Propaganda at every step, you walk on the street, there's some advertisement to increase your lust. So lust is increased so much, and when that becomes frustrated, people become angry. And that anger becomes an internal psychological condition in which they take pleasure in torturing animals or giving pain. They take some children and give pain to them or lustily exploit their bodies. These are all examples of insane lust and anger to the point of insanity. You find some people, they take pleasure in torturing others. They find some pleasure in deliberately giving pain to others, watching them scream in pain. So Lord Shiva's anger is not like that. His anger is for the benefit of others. That means that when he sees that people are too much sinful, then he may punish them to bring them to their right senses. There may be hurricanes, cyclones. This suffering that the material energy inflicts on others, that is to waken them up, to bring them to their senses. In Gita, Krishna says, Savadhaman Paritraja, Mamekam Sharanam Vaja, Aham Jam Sarvapepevyo Mokshayeshani Mashucha. Krishna says, you don't have to suffer in this material world. You're suffering because of your sinful activities. You don't have to suffer. Just surrender to me. I will deliver you from all suffering. But those who don't want to listen to Krishna, they will have to accept more and more suffering just so they can finally wake up and think, why am I suffering? Why don't I surrender to Krishna? So Lord Shiva, he's angry in this way. But his anger is for the benefit of the living beings. He's associating with the lowest class of people. He's called Bhutana, the Lord of the ghosts. So that is his kindness to the lowest class living beings. Those who are interested in black magic, ghost worship, very low class tantric practices, they take shelter of Lord Shiva, who is kind enough to give them some shelter. Not that he has any interest in these things himself. Lord Shiva is interested in Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He's interested in chanting the names of Lord Ram. He's a great devotee of Sankarshan. So this is his interest. But out of his kindness towards the very fallen living beings, he gives them some shelter. Not that he has any interest in their very low class and perverted way of thinking. But just so they'll follow some authority, he gives them some shelter, so that they could gradually become purified. Because if they don't follow any authority within the Vedic system, then they'll become more and more degraded. So even within the Vedic literature, there is the left hand, which is Vamapanta, by which there is ghost worship, spirit worship, very low class. But that at least they're following some rules and regulations within the Vedic system, so that gradually they can come to understand what is Lord Shiva's actual position. Lord Shiva's position is that he is a great devotee, and those who are actually followers of him, they become devotees. We have within the four Vaishnava Sampradayas, there is the Rudra Sampradaya, which is the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, which is presently going on as the Vallabhacharya's Sampradaya. So within the Vedic culture there's another Sampradaya following Lord Shiva. That is the Shankara Sampradaya, the followers of Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya Lord Shiva came again as Shankaracharya to bewilder those who would be bewildered. Those who are very much in the mode of ignorance, they are averse to accepting the supremacy of Lord Vishnu. They are attracted to descriptions of the Supreme as impersonal. So they're also ghostly haunted, low-class living beings. Even though they may appear to be very pakka brahmanas, following Vedic rules and regulations, their philosophy is actually ghostly, suicide philosophy. How do you become a ghost? 10 easy steps, how to become a ghost. Not even 10. 1, just cut your throat. Commit suicide, and you can also become a ghost. So those who want to commit spiritual suicide by adopting the impersonal philosophy, they're given shelter by Lord Shiva. So they misunderstand him. Shankaracharya again very clearly stated, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudhamate, Samprapte, Panihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Lakshiti Dukhin Kalane. That all your grammatical word jugglery, I am you and me and we are all together. Tattvamasi, I am you and you are me and everything is all the same. So your jugglery, that won't help you. What will help you? Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda. Worship Krishna. But those who are mudha, fools, they say, no. He said this at the last time, just before he must have become senile or something in his old age. Even though he was only 32 years old. We don't accept this, what the real teaching of Shankar. Brahmasmi aham, I am that. Tattvamasi, you are that. You are what? You are all the same. Undifferentiated oneness. So Lord Shiva's purpose, that can be understood through the Bhagavatam. His devotee, others who claim themselves as his followers without worshipping Lord Shiva as a devotee of Krishna, those who worship him as independently supreme, they have not understood his position. Actually, who is the real Shiva, who is the real follower of Lord Shiva is the Vaishnava. They are the real followers, because Lord Shiva teaches us to worship Lord Krishna. So the real follower of Lord Shiva is a Vaishnava. Similarly, the real Shakta, the real worshipper of Shakti, is the Vaishnava, because he knows who is Shakti, Adi Shakti. In Calcutta you'll find the temple of Adi Shakti, the original energetic form. They worship Kali as Adi Shakti. But who is the real Adi Shakti? Is Radharani. From her all the Lakshmis expand, and then all the female principle is embodied as Radharani. So even in this material world, the different forms of Durga, the female principle by which in this material world male principle and female principle is simply an imitation of Radha and Krishna's loving pastimes. So as Radharani keeps Krishna always entranced in loving ecstasy, so in the same way, in this material world, the female principle always keeps the female embodiment, keeps those who are in the illusion of thinking themselves males, keeps them entranced. But the origin of all these, the origin of everything is Krishna, and Radharani, who is the female form of the Supreme Lord. She is the origin of all female principles. So those who are actual worshippers of Shakti, they must worship Radharani. So in the same way, the Vaishnava is the actual Shakta. The Vaishnava is the actual Shaiva. So all these points have to be understood through Bhagavatam. Lord Shiva's position is very difficult to understand. So, even for the devotees, very difficult to understand. Who is this person? He has his own unique position. There is Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva. So Vishnu Tattva means the supreme, absolute truth personality of Godhead. And Jiva Tattva means the separated parts and parcels. But Lord Shiva means he's neither Jiva nor Vishnu. He is non-different from Lord Vishnu. Actually everyone is non-different, but he is more non-different than the Jivas. But he's also different. So how is that? That has to be understood from the Bhagavatam. How Lord Shiva is the supreme controller of the universe under the direction of Lord Vishnu. Almost from his functions within the material world, he's almost as powerful as Lord Vishnu. But he's a devotee, and he's supported to Lord Vishnu, and ultimately he's under the control of Lord Vishnu, as will be shown in the pastime of Mohini Murti. So this Shiva Tattva, if that's all we have to understand. We have to understand through the pages of Bhagavatam. We have to understand that his greatness ultimately lies not in his potency to oversee the universe, but in his great devotion to Lord Krishna. And this is the message of Bhagavatam. Lord Shiva is being praised, but the Vaishnavas, they're not so much interested in how he's creating, maintaining, destroying the universe. They're more interested in how he is a great devotee of Lord Krishna. So this is the real description of Lord Shiva, and how the Vaishnavas see it. The Bhagavatam is not meant for anything else but this, to teach us devotion to Krishna. And that is taught through the devotees. We see there's so many different stories.